Do you hear them, Zach?
Yes. We
You're
got him.
live, buddy.
We got him flurrying in. All right, let's see. Hello, everyone coming in. We got everyone trickling in a bit. We'll get started here in a couple minutes. Honestly, it's pretty good. We got a good amount of people showing up on time. It's kind of unheard of.
Especially for realtors.
Yeah.
Zach, let's just get going.
Want to just get going?
I do.
All right, awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for hopping on with us today. We're going to be going over how to generate listing leads even in a low inventory market. Just a little reminder of who we are. I'm Zach Valdez, the project coordinator here at Zincasa. If Brian, if you want to go over to the next slide, we are your iBuying partner. We help empower agents to become their own iBuyer with their very own white labeled instant offer website. We're here to protect and strengthen traditional real estate and agents and brokers so that way they can compete against institutional buyers and generate some more business. That's just who we are, and we're happy to be here to present our webinar today. So let's get started. First, I'll take us over and introduce you to our host today. Brian, if you want to hit the next slide there. We have got ourselves Brian Wildermuth, my two bosses here. Brian is our president and co-founder of Zincasa, and the lovely Scott McDonald is here as well, our CIO and co-founder as well. So I will let them go ahead and get started.
Awesome. I'm having serious video issues. There it goes. God, you'd think I'd know what I'm doing after all this time. Thanks, Zach. Really appreciate that. Zach, don't we have a big day planned here? We got a quick agenda, a big agenda in a short amount of time. So
yes,
I'm gonna hit that pretty quick here. So what we're gonna be covering today is we're gonna talk about, Scott's gonna walk us through the current market. It's been a passion and love of his for his whole 35-year career in the industry. He's very good at it. So he's gonna share kind of a breakdown of how things are going, where it's headed. Scott's then going to guide us through how to understand seller motivation, and then more importantly, how to maximize and understand how to use that in low inventory market like we have today. And then I'm going to jump in and start talking about, or Scott's going to keep going on the target audience, and then I'm going to talk about how to market to that target audience. So we're really going to give you a lot of good information today. You're going to walk out of here with some great things to deploy in your business right away. So Zach, I think we want to know a little bit about our customers that are online, or people that are online. So can we run some quick polls, some quick questions? Please participate.
Yes,
Zach,
sir.
you're gonna push out.
All right. Our first poll should be out there now. How many years have you been in the real estate industry?
Okay. Interesting. We had no 11 to 20s.
Couple more seconds here. 3, 2. It's really not that hard of a question. 1.
1. All right.
Close it.
All right.
Yep.
Is that posted up?
Yeah, post it up.
Yes, it is. It should be posted.
It's not.
Oh, well, it is. It should be sharing, but overall, we have about 38% of people in that 1 to 3 year range, 31% in that 4 to 10, and then 31% in that 20+ year range. So got some great people in the industry. Nobody in 11 to 20 though.
Interesting. I know, it's really interesting. I'm trying to think of, it was right when we started coming out of the Great Recession. So I'm surprised more people didn't jump into the business at that time.
Right.
True.
All right. Then for our next poll, we've got, let's see, we're going to launch these ones right now. They should be up. How many listings did you do in 2022?
Did you push it? No one's answering. Oh, there we go.
Now they're trickling in. Perfect.
And both questions are answering both questions that somehow came up at the same time, which is, very convenient.
Very convenient. All
So you can
right.
close it out. Give us the totals. Zach, it looks like there they are right there on the screen. So at 69%, 0 to 5. And then we've got 15% at 6 to 10 and another 15% over 20. And then most of the folks, it looks like, are listing agents as opposed to
That's great.
the buyer's agent. So that's wonderful. Awesome stuff. So now we know our audience, right? Now we know who we are dealing with. So Scott, I'm going to turn it over to you because you are going to give us the state of the union, right? The state of the market.
Of the market. Okay, I'm going to take this screen down if that's okay. All right, so all rise to hear the state of the market. Right now, as we all know, we are in a very low inventory market. And the reason for that was where interest rates were here in 2001 and 21 and 2022. A lot of people refinanced their homes or purchased homes during that time, and they are married to their rate. They may not be married to the house, but they're married to the rate. Where today we're encouraging people to marry the house and date the rate because the rates are going to be coming back down. As you can see up here, rates have been coming down. They were at 6% last week. This week they're at nearly 7%. So they have trickled back up, as you can see over here. But the low inventory is creating a lot of demand for buyers. But you can see here the state of the market. We are 43.2% lower than we were pre-pandemic. In Northern Virginia, we are down 65% from 2018 and 55% from 2019. So here locally, we're seeing even more levels of lower inventory than other parts of the country. So what's critical to do today is to go out and create inventory because of the buyer demand that's out there. Let's see if I can move us forward. Today, what we're seeing in a lot of our open houses, we've had multiple contracts on our properties that we have listed. We put one on the market in Centerville for $500,000. We got multiple contracts that went for $530,000. We had 22 showings scheduled in 24 hours. Another property, we had 18 showings scheduled within the first 24 hours. We had 4 contracts on that house. And then another agent here in the office, they put a house on the market and they had well over 50 people through the multiple open houses they did Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and ended up with 10 contracts. So one way for those agents to go out and generate more listings is to go door knocking, right? Send out flyers, go door knocking, target that neighborhood because, again, in that one instance, there's 9 buyers out there that are looking for that particular property. And the one that was in Annandale where we had the 18 showings in 24 hours and the 4 contractors, 3 buyers out there. So going out and actually being proactive and getting ahead of the market and trying to find new people to list, that's where you have one of the opportunities. Next, we have understanding the seller motivation. Today, again, you have the desire for speed, convenience, and simplicity. It's very interesting. Recently, going out to like Costco, you see a lot more people wearing masks again. You hear of a lot of people still being concerned about COVID. So people want simplicity. They don't want people coming through their house. Unfortunately, after the pandemic, a lot of people started to get divorced. So you have divorce, you have bankruptcy and foreclosures. Not as many foreclosures as people were expecting to be in the market, but it is a way that sellers are being motivated if they've lost their job, if they were in the tech sector and lost their job. Also, if they found a dream home, whether it was a move-up dream home or if it was a right sizing or downsizing their property, or it may be even out of the area. Unfortunately, there's always deaths that create opportunities for people to want to sell a house. They don't want to keep a property, job relocation. Also, we just talked about market concerns. Some people right now see that this could be an opportunity where prices may not go up as much as they were thinking that they were going to go up. And so why not strike while the iron's hot? And we have this high demand from buyers. So market concerns is another reason that people would be selling. We have out-of-state absentee owners who may not know what the state of our market is. They may know what's happening in their market where they live, but they may not know how much their property has gone up. In the one instance with the Centerville townhouse, we listed at 500, we got 530, and it appraised today. You wonder how many, because of the last several sales, and there have been 475 to 500, that absentee owner might think that their property is only worth 500 now. So again, it's going to be getting out and talking to them to try and generate activity with them. And then of course, property condition, if the property needs a lot of work and the sellers don't want to do that work, would be one of the reasons that sellers would be listing today. But the number one reason that they're not listing right now is the low interest rates. Again, they're married to their interest rate. The other thing is, they feel that they may have missed the opportunity last year when prices were escalating up and we had multiple contracts on every house that came on the market. So they may think that they missed the market, and they don't want to list because they've heard in the media that prices are down, that we're having a housing crash, prices are going to come down. So again, they may not be knowledgeable as to where the market really is. And then again, the reverse FOMO, I call it, they would have made more money last year, so I'm not going to sell now. I already missed out. And then some people have good intentions of selling. They get right up to the finish line, and then they say, you know what? I don't want to move. My family's here. Oh, I still love my friends that are in the neighborhood. And so so those are a couple of the things that sellers would be reluctant to do now. So anyway, who do you target in a low inventory market? The people that you would go after would be your database. Reach out to your people, talk to them about what's happening in the market, keep them up to date as to what's going on. And again, I really do believe that the absentee owner market is one that is rich for you to go after, again, because they just don't know what's happening in that particular neighborhood. So we have the baby boomers and retirees. Right now, two of my listings that I have coming on the market, those people are relocating out of the area. So the baby boomers, the houses just aren't suited for their lifestyle, for their needs that they have, whether they have physical issues that they can't get up and downstairs or whatever. So that is a market to target. Couples who have recently had children, they may need a bigger house. Condo's not big enough anymore, may need to get into a townhouse. Unfortunately, those going through divorce. And then builders. I had a conversation with a builder over the weekend that we used to do guaranteed buys and guaranteed leases for, to help them get their consumers into the houses. And he wants to get together next week to talk more about getting us back involved with them. So going to builders and working with builders to see if the people that are buying their homes need houses to sell. Of course, we're starting to see a few more for sale by owners out there in the market. Again, I think that falls into the reverse FOMO, where they felt they could have made more money last year. They know that there's low inventory out there this year, and a way for them to recoup some of their outstanding cash would be to do it themselves. So look for sale by owners. And then basically from May through December here in Northern Virginia, our market virtually shut down because of the rising interest rates. Consumer confidence was low. In the housing market, there was a lot of negativity about inflation, how high inflations were going to go, how high rates were going to go. So anyway, but there were people who were trying to sell then. So there's going to be expired listings or canceled listings. People just took their house off the market because nobody was looking at it. So going after expired listings is a great market to go after today. And then people who are in foreclosure or pre-foreclosure, there's websites to go to for those. Hubzu, auctions.com. Here locally, Sam White is one of the attorneys that handles a lot of foreclosures. So go to places where people are that have a need to sell.
Hey, Scott, can I just jump in and ask a question here? Because
Sure.
that's a lot. Those are a lot of target markets. They each have their little nuance. As you coach agents, what would you say here to our audience about, you can't feasibly do all of these and do them well.
There's
So
no-
what kind of,
There's no way. You should always have your database. That's the number one source of your business. And then pick 2 or 3 of the other ones: absentee owners, divorce attorneys, and I would say, again, going after the builder market, I think is another good one to go to. Or you could even go to probate attorneys, right? So that would be dealing with unfortunate situations of death, right? So divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, absentee owners, and then your database. But yeah,
so
no more
so
than
can we
3 or
dumb it
4.
down? So can we just dumb it down a bit then, or just like pick a couple? And because you've been doing this so long, we do have some people that were saying 1 to 5 years on there, right?
Yeah.
What's the approach? Am I going and like networking with divorce attorneys and probate attorneys? Like, what's the best route? You can get lists for sure. Is there another way to get referrals though?
So the way to get referrals is build relationships with those people, right? Call them up, say, hey, I want to get to know you and how you work in your business, and find out more about how I can set you up with referrals, put you in touch with my database, perhaps do, for the probate people or estate people, have them do estate planning for families, do seminars with them. And as you give them business, they're going to naturally give you business back. So with divorces, some people want to work only with the wives and some only want to work with husbands, right? So on the radio, sports radio, they have Cordell and Cordell, they're representing guys. So, you want to find out what type of client that they want to have in their database. So the more that you learn about them and their business, then naturally they're going to want to learn about you and your business and how you operate, and see if you can set up a referral-based business with those divorce attorneys, probate and estate attorneys, the builders, again, same thing, going after them in that way. And then the absentee owners, what you can do is just put them on a drip campaign, right? That you're sending them stuff, quarterly updates on the market. And then in between those quarterly updates, send them a CMA on their property, talk to them about the overall market in general, but just keep them and send them letters. And again, you'll build business, you'll build a database over time of your absentee owners. And so those would be the things to do.
Yeah, I just wanted to call that forward because I'm going to spend some time here in a bit talking about, aggressive marketing, if you will, reaching out. But I think it's super important to kind of slow down and hit the fundamental of the people part of it, because there are a lot of ways to get business without sending postcards and posting on social media. That's where you've built all your business, right, Scott? Relationships.
So, myself, relationship building. So the other thing too, Brian, is to let these people know when you get in front of them and have conversation with them that you do have options, right? You have the instant offer cash buy with Zencasa, or they can go the traditional route. So again, letting them know that you are a trusted advisor and you can help them either way they want to go, whether again it's the instant offer or it is the traditional routes. So again, we just talked a little bit about these places. So your database, again, 100% keeping up to date with your MLS, what's coming on the market, how many houses are for sale, how many houses went under contract the last 7 days, last 30 days. So you can talk about months supply, not only in the total area, but also in their zip code and in their neighborhood even. Divorce attorneys, as we just talked about, and how to build those relationships with the estate and probate attorneys. And then the foreclosure websites, tracking those. Now, prior to someone getting into a foreclosure situation, there's going to be at the courthouse a substitute trustee put in place. When you go to closings, a majority of the time when you go to a closing, the trustee on the deed of trust is the president of the bank or the CEO of the bank where the loan was originated. They're not going to foreclose on the person. The person who's going to foreclose on them is going to be an attorney. So that substitute trustee is another place to look for inventory. You can go and talk to those people about how you can help them avoid foreclosure, going the instant offer route, or getting their house on the market quickly. Looks like we have a question, maybe?
Yeah, we do, but we have a question that came in and said, I want to know more about the iBuyer market. We're going to talk about that here in a bit
Yep.
As we get through. So we'll definitely answer that question coming up.
Okay. Okay. And then one area to not forget about is people who bought their home recently. So many people are not happy. There was just something on the news last night about this where they said 75% of people who bought their house in the last 2 years have found at least one reason that would give them a reason to sell. They were, again, I'm gonna have to put my glasses on to read these, but they don't like their home. 13% of the people. People thought they spent too much money. Well, prices have gone up, so maybe they can get out of that. They bought too quickly. They just, they felt like they were rushed into making a decision. They bought a fixer-upper and they didn't want to do the work. And the home requires too much maintenance. Some people bought a bigger home and they didn't realize the utilities, the taxes. We just got our tax bills here in Fairfax County yesterday, so taxes went up. But again, a lot of people who bought in the last couple of years are other people to target. So reach out to them and say, hey, are you happy with your decision? What are your thoughts on selling? So look out for those people as well. And then there's other tools that you can use to find potential sellers. SmartZip is one. First.io, that's a Remax product. If you're a Remax agent, I highly encourage you to use that. And then Tick, they have a new product that they've come out with, and each of these works with anywhere from 300 data points to 2,000 data points to determine who the next sellers in a particular area would be. So if you wanted to invest money in your business and go after predictive analytics, that's another tool that you could utilize to help you get more listings.
Awesome. All right. I want you to stay on with me, Scott, as we go through this next, because I want you to chime in.
Okay.
And is that like a cousin of TikTok, or they just ran out of things to call things?
I think they just ran out of ideas for names.
So we're going to talk about now. So one of the key things about marketing is people always leave at that first part. And I hope you absorbed a lot of that and took screenshots. And I think we're going to have a recording of this that we can get out to you. But there is a lot of meat in marketing and defining your audience first. Okay. The slide that had all those different factors, the person that asked on here about iBuying, we're going to speak about that in a second, about how to attract all of these different types of potential sellers. So after you've identified the audience, you got to hone in on what you're going to message. So what you want to focus on in this low inventory market, and typically probably more than just that market, Scott, and most markets, but you do want to focus on what is going on in the market. So Scott just did a little of that on the front end. You want to focus on, is now a good time to sell? Okay. I'm sure you get that question all the time. Consumers want to know what their home is worth, and it's becoming easier and easier for them to do that. You want to be a resource. Before I got on to the webinar, I heard a commercial. I always have the radio on in the background. I know I'm old fashioned. I got a radio. Does anybody have a radio? It's actually through my phone. It's through iHeartRadio. But there was an Orchard commercial, and they find out what your home is worth. Well, if they're beating you to the punch, and Orchard isn't one that wants to work closely with you. They want to replace the agent. So what is your home worth? And then lastly, what options do I have as a consumer to get my home sold? And that's the one on the iBuying side that we're going to talk about here in a minute. So let's take each one of those and show you an example. So first and foremost, what's the market condition? Is it a good time to sell? The list on the screen right now are different components that you can share, and getting super hyper local is very attractive to the consumer. Otherwise, they're going to tune it out. So to focus in on what are the inventory levels, how is that impacting median list and sold price, the month supply, how is that holding out? And then the days on market will give an indication to them. One of the things this does is it moves us from that old adage of delivering recipe cards and providing value and being that expert. So the question that you want to answer for them in your marketing, and it doesn't matter where it is it social, is it in person, is it in a postcard or an email, is so as a result, because that's where you get the opportunity to let them know that it's a good time to sell or a good time to buy. And also you can combat the negativity that our media has been placing out of the marketplace about home ownership. So this is a great way, is to use data to bring the consumer to a conclusion that everything's okay. So let's give some quick examples. I just grabbed some different examples. Here is a brokerage in Texas, and this is a Instagram story. So it's hard to see on the screen, but they've got stats that they put out each month, a quick snapshot of what's going on in the market. It's easy for someone to quickly see and get a feel for. Now you can take that to your level, to the agent level. This is another agent somewhere else in Texas. I think it's a Coldwell Banker agent, perhaps, on a LinkedIn post that these are posts that I've seen on my feed. I didn't go grab these on Google. These are agents and brokers on my feed that are doing it on social media, but it's not all about social. Print is still advisable. And so this is a piece that I get to my home for my neighborhood, 2 agents that have teamed up that are, one is, I think, on her way to retirement, and she's got somebody that she's brought in that's really sharp. But this is a full fold out 4-page brochure that comes every single month. And with this, what this agent team is doing is providing a mechanism also for someone to go find out what their home is worth, go browse the listings. It really is a comprehensive and professionally done piece. So there's just some quick examples of how you message market condition to attract new leads. Secondly, it's important because consumers want to know that what their home is worth. Here's a couple of ideas for you in being able to attract people and to circumvent the large iBuyers that are putting mailings into the mailbox, i.e. Open Door, and giving valuations. You can do the same thing. You are their trusted advisor. So a couple examples here. That same
Let me
team.
go back. Can we go back to that one? So
Absolutely.
one thing
Yeah.
besides one thing to do first, and I was telling Zach about this the other day, is send them their Zillow, their Zestimate, and say, is this number right or wrong? Call me to find out. Right. And then the next month, send them the Redfin one, and then send them the realtor.com one, and then say, after doing the appropriate amount of research, this is what your house is really worth through your CMA. So you try and generate calls coming in, who made more money, you or your house last year? Again, are these automated valuation tools truthful in what the valuation of your property is? So go and try and make them funny, right? To try and drive attention to you in your marketing so that you get people to pick up the phone and give you a call.
I love it. It's fantastic. That's worth the price of admission right there. I also want to just bring examples. So that same team does a postcard, and it's 2-sided. And we talk about help them understand their value. So this double-sided card, the first side is talking about the current state of design and what's the trends, what seller or buyers might be looking for. And it's personalized with my name on it, which will, by the way, increase your response rate by 500%. Just putting someone's name in the piece. And then on the back, they are saying, come find out what your home is worth. And they are using a call to action to pull them to their website that's full of information. So really simple piece. It's not just a just listed or just sold, although those work as well. And something you can emulate or copy and do on a regular basis. This last one was that question that happened way back.
Yeah. So again, with the idea of going and door knocking in those particular neighborhoods to let people know, if somehow you could create, and again, Canva is an easy way to do it. And I don't know if we have anything on the back end of Zencastr or not, but this house had 10 offers, 9 people are still looking to buy in your neighborhood. If you can't talk to somebody, leaving that door hanging behind to try and generate some business that way too.
Absolutely, Scott. Our design studio, you can do all that stuff in our design studio. Very easy to use. So we can talk about that in a bit. We see another question there, Zach. Do you want to, is that something we need to answer?
It was a
RPR.
addition to Redfin and Zillow using RPR for automated values. So that's something that you can send to people. Just, realtors get that for free. So thank you very much, Adrienne, for that tip right there.
Excellent. RPR is a great tool. Boy, this didn't work too good. So you asked earlier about the iBuyer. This is a big thing. We're not doing this webinar to pitch and extol Zoncasa at you. We want to bring value. There's more to what you can do to drive opportunity. But of course, one of the key ways you can drive listings and seller leads right now is to offer options. And you can learn, if you're not a member and you're on, you can learn more about it. We'd be happy to share with you afterwards, or you can go to zoncasa.com. But really high level, you have a website that we provide as a Zoncasa member, and you can drive people in your marketing pieces to your website. It's personalized and branded for you. This is Scott's here for his Remax company. There's a questionnaire that they can fill out, and as you see on the left, part of the website is to share the options for a seller, a traditional sale, or if for some other reason, we can get you a cash offer. And by that, I mean life circumstance, that slide we showed earlier, whether it's a divorce, a potential foreclosure, or they found their dream home already, or they don't want people coming through their homes. You can be the one to offer that. And in order to excel at that, you need to start marketing it and doing it over and over again. So one important note about us as an iBuyer, we don't expect you to channel every single deal to us. In fact, most of our members will bring us 1 or 2 deals a year, okay? But this stat is very telling. If you market yourself as an agent of options, there are studies out there that show upwards of 80% of consumers would like to explore a cash offer. Explore it. Wouldn't it be great if you were the one to help them with that? Now, Scott, before I change slides and show some examples, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, again, if 80% of people want to do it, why don't you provide it to them up front? Don't ask if they want it. Just bring it as an option to your listing presentations.
Absolutely. So one of the things we do is we provide you the tools. You talked about Canva. We have a Canva-esque tool that you have access to through our platform that allows you to set up yourself as an agent that offers choice now. So the top thing there is a Facebook banner ad for your business page. It's simple, it's clean. You can make edits to it if you want, or you can use it as is. The bottom piece is a Facebook post. There's a LinkedIn Instagram post, and then we've got all sorts of other tools for you. Email signature, the stories are set up. We've got a listing presentation sheet for you to put in, explain the cash offer. To Scott's point, I would bring an offer with you if you can. The second piece is the direct mail messaging on whatever direct mail goes out. Doesn't matter if it's something you create in our platform or something you create elsewhere. Offer the option. I'm an agent that can get options. Sell your home your way. And then you talked about the door hangers. Everything that you're looking at on the screen is ready-made, or you can go in and change it all around. So
the big thing too is that whole group that we talked about as your target audience, send this out to them. Let them know that they have options, right? They may not know that you can present this option to them. So that's why it's important for you to have this in your toolbox.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'm super passionate about. So prior to Zoncasa, been in the industry a long time on the software side, on the marketing side. I'm an advocate for appropriate, consistent, and really strong marketing that doesn't require a lot of thought. So today we've given you what's the target audience? How should you be messaging? Whether it's about the market, whether it's about the value of their home, or whether it's about options for selling their home. And the only thing we're missing is, okay, well, how do I send it out? People get stuck. My 30 plus years of doing this, people get stuck. And so I just want to simplify it for you today. It can get a little overwhelming. The whole omni-channel concept has been around for a while, but everybody seems to have gravitated to kind of heavy leaning, like one side of the boat for social media. And I think that a balanced approach is going to get you more outcome. So let me give you some quick examples. Pick one or two social media platforms. I attend so many conferences where they're like, get on TikTok, do Snapchat. Just pick a couple and be very good at them. You do not have to be in all of them. You have to be where most of your customers are at. So with respect to distributing on social, one of the things I like to say is balance. If you're gonna talk real estate, do some gentle market insights. Like Scott said, use some humor. I saw some funny stuff out when the interest rates went up and people were comparing the rates to years ago, saying doesn't look too low to me or too high to me. And it's compared to like when it was 8, 10, 12%. Customer success stories are big, and you can do that visually. It could be you having dinner with a young couple who you just sold a house to. It doesn't have to be a picture of a house. Okay, so using the personal visuals and video as an aid, and showing you very active, whether that's you networking, you attending events. You don't have to say, I'm at a real estate training. Just show that you're out and about and that you're functional. So the social media is a great tool to attract people to you. And then there's the push tools. Email is still functional. Email is still very a viable tool for securing relationships and keeping them engaged. You just have to keep it simple and keep it light and quick. So if you're going to do a newsletter and you don't want the expense of mailing, it's a great way for you to give a quick update of what's going on. Keep it condensed. Don't make it like 6 pages. Okay. But there's a lot of agents that I'm on their list do a really good job with this. And then lastly, don't give up on direct mail. I'm a huge advocate of it because most people have stopped using it, yet who's using it? Opendoor is using it. Google is using it. Apple is using it. So it is effective, and the USPS puts out stats every year. The effective rate of direct mail is increasing. It's on the rise again. So especially if you combine it with social media and another media like email. So I gave you guys a bunch of examples of that. The last thing I want to touch on here with marketing is just how often. And so my big thing is, I pay attention. I keep every mailing that comes to me from a real estate agent for 30 years. It's crazy. I have a huge folders down in the basement. And what happens is people do 1 or 2 mailings and they don't get a result and they quit. Marketing is a long time commitment, and your success isn't just a few posts, isn't one post. Hey, if you want a cash offer, come to me. It's a consistent messaging. So I put together just, I like to go all the way down to the simple. And then if somebody wants to get complex, they can. We got a couple of folks on the call that have been doing, 20 plus listings last year. But just keep it simple. A good couple posts a week, make it those posts about the market, a customer success story, something like that. And then mix it up. Use stories one week, use posts the next week. That is something that's just basic for social media. If you want to take it up a notch, do a couple more and make it multi-channel. So don't just use social media. Now start adding email or direct mail. And then on the best side, you're doing multi-channel in 3 different mediums, and you're getting out there. The direct mail postcard I meant to say there is once a month. The newsletter would be once a month, but you're doing a couple posts a week about real estate. And then the rest you could post 50 times if you want about yourself. But I think that's the strongest route to go. Scott, anything to add here for you?
My food posts get the most response.
Tell them about it really quick.
Yeah, no. So you definitely have to mix up the personal with the business. You don't want to be all business all the time. So,
100%.
I think that's a critical piece of the puzzle as well. Show people that you're human. They don't want to work with someone who's all work and no play. So I think it's good to mix it up.
I agree. And so we do have agents that overcompensate for that. They don't want to come off as salesy. They don't want to. So that's why I'm saying just a couple. If you're somebody who does 5 posts a week or you're posting every day, obviously most of those posts are personal. People want to be attracted to people they want to do business with, but you also have to be consistent that you are somebody out there that can help them in the real estate space, and keep the posts light. You don't have to pound them, really hard. So successful marketing is a 12-day commitment. Somehow something came off one of my slides. I want to go back to here. I missed it because our photos are covering it up. I want to make sure that in any of the pieces that you do for real estate, have a call to action. Your call to action doesn't have to be as severe as someone who's trying to sell something on Shopify, but you do want to get them to come to you for something. Call me if interested. Come to my website. Get your free this. I think it's important. I didn't want to leave that piece out. So before we go, couple things. We're going to give away a free little thing here in a second. But if you want to know more about Zencasa and you really want to drill down on how to maximize the platform, we have 3 sessions coming up. We tried to spread them out, so we pick a different day of the week. Those are all Central Time, 1 o'clock. Zach, are you messaging in the chat channel the links to those sessions? They're going to be awesome. And we drill down and show specific examples and give you the cadence for how to use the platform to attract a lot more seller leads like we shared earlier. And then lastly, I want to thank you for being here today. We got a free gift. So we did a couple of things on taking back control of the market, the conversation. The media just keeps killing us. And so we gave you some tips and tricks for how to turn the tides. So this is a great thing to just go get a download on. You can also find on our Zencasa Facebook page. You can find some recordings from a webinar that we did with 3 brokers and getting their input from around the country about how they train their agents and have their agents talking about the market. So Scott and I, Zach, on behalf of us, we want to thank you for coming today. We hope you got a few gems, and be looking for more sessions on how to grow your business in 2023
And beyond.
Absolutely.
All right.
Scott, say your line.
Now go sell something.